What's up guys, my name is Liam, and today we're going to be taking a look at one of my favorite releases so far to start out the year, and that is the Wlmouse Beast Mini. The performance on this has been absolutely incredible, and I've been really enjoying it. But is this going to be the perfect gaming mouse for you? Let's check it out. And starting out, for those of you that have not already seen, this is basically just what the boxing experience looks like. When you open it up, you do have the mouse right here in the top, but there is no other specifications that are on the box for me to show to you. And it does come included with a bunch of goodies. You do have this zip up carrying bag. It has this envelope with a user manual and these stickers. And mine came with a set of these glass skates, also with an extra set of PTFE skates. Originally dot skates came included on it, but also does come with these bigger skates that I was messing around with to throw on here. And these corner skates. Also does come with grips, but as you can see, I've already used the grips. A USB-C cable. They also had this limited time promotion available. We're the first people to purchase the mouse. Got these limited edition skates, so that's a set of those, but I don't believe those are included anymore. Even though I did like the LCD screen that was on the original Wlmouse Beast X, I thought it was a pretty cool touch. It is kind of nice to have more of a slimmer, more small type of a dongle, but the eyes do light up and you're able to change the color of the LED in the profile. And on the bottom, it does have this harder style rubber edging around it so that it sits and plants nicely on your desk. And really simple functions starting out over here at the bottom. Same stuff as before. You just have your power button down over here to power the mouse on and off. And as far as the skate design goes, I love the skate design. Gives you the option whether you want to do corner skates, the dot skates, or you can even fit these larger skates on here. And when it comes to the skates, they are listed as 100% PTFE skates, but as you can clearly see here, it does look like they have some color to them. I did find these skates to perform pretty quickly, but honestly, they feel a little bit more harsh. So I did actually opt and pick up some of these aftermarket Ultra Glide skates. So I'm really excited to check these out. And the reason I have not put them on yet is because I keep opening up the mouse to do testing on it. But coming back over the top, pretty much similar type of stuff as before. Obviously, this is just a shrunk down version of the Beast X. It does have the holes on the side, and same thing with the Beast X. I've seen people that actually don't mind the holes being there, but for me personally, I don't like the feeling of the holes on the sides. So it is cool that they do include this grip tape. And honestly, this grip tape, besides the fact that it keeps getting dirty on me, it honestly performs great, and it does make a pretty significant difference with not really being able to notice the holes there. You kind of can feel the grooves when you're squeezing tightly, but after I've gotten used to it, it honestly doesn't bother me at all, and it feels really good. And as far as the hole design on the top, for me, this hole is really the only hole that really bothers me. Even though this is a very tiny and flat mouse, there are times where I like to rest the top of my hand on here and push in here, and the bottom of my middle finger can kind of sink in there, but I kind of mostly use this with kind of a hybrid relaxed claw fingertip grip since it is so much smaller. But aside from that, everything about this in the hands, to me, since I've gotten used to it, really does feel great. Even though I didn't mind the feeling of the Omrons in the original Beast X, they did actually switch over to the Huano Blue Shell pink dots. They feel really good. They feel very lightweight and snappy, and the overall feeling and implementation on these clicks, it just feels really solid all around. You do get just a slight bit of pre-travel there, but very minimal. And the same thing with other mice. The further up you come on the switch, you do get slightly a little bit more play, but not a whole lot. And it doesn't really make a whole lot of contact there with the shell for me. And just all around from front to back, even though you can't really come up that high with these holes up here, just incredibly lightweight. I'm not getting any type of back and forth play, any massive rocking or teetering. So anything that's noticeable, the clicks on here, they truly do feel incredible. They're also still using this plastic scroll wheel. It feels really good for not being a rubberized scroll wheel. I didn't have any problems with it feeling too slippery for me on this version. I'm not sure if it's because of the paint on here, it makes it a little bit more grippy, or the smaller size of it, whatever it is. There was never a time where this really bothered me in game. It has nice defined steps on there. They are pretty lightweight, and the center click on here is really easy to spam, and I really do enjoy this implementation of the scroll wheel. And then coming over to the side buttons, I'm not getting any type of play going left or right. Even if I were to click from the rear here, it just is a very solid experience all the way from back to front. In fact, I'm like literally getting almost like no additional pre-travel or bending there. So The pre-travel and post-travel on these buttons on my copy feel incredible, and I have no complaints. And lastly, when it comes to the coating and the shell integrity, the coating on here, it does feel like it's a little bit more slippery, so not really any type of grippy coating on this color version of the mouse that I have received, but again, not really an issue since I have to use this with the grip tape anyways. But the shell integrity on this thing feels incredibly solid. I haven't pushed too hard on these little bars in the back. If you were to, you can get some bending, but as I was playing with this mouse and gripping it, especially with my grip being more up here towards the front, I didn't notice anything at all, and it felt really solid. So yeah, so all around, the build and feeling of this in the hands, it really does feel nearly perfect to me. So let's go ahead and drop the click and build quality sound check. And when it comes to the weight and balance, the balance on my copy really solid front to back and left to right. And as far as the weight goes, with having the grips on here and the bigger skates, looks like I got it coming out to approximately 37.5 grams. For the Mini, they do have this newer updated version of the software, and honestly I kind of like this one a bit more. It seems a bit more cleaned up, a little bit more sleek. So really simple stuff. Once you do open it up here, as you can see, have all your options right here. It allows you to adjust the click debounce setting down to 0 milliseconds, set your polling rate, and these are all the settings that I prefer to use as I was testing this out and as I was gaming with it. And it even has this tab over here where you can change the LED settings on the dongle itself. And one of the most insane things about this mouse to me is actually the performance of it. I was pacing it up against the top things out there. Currently, the #1 on the spot for click latency is the Finalmouse ULX. This thing is literally right there with the ULX running in at 4K. And one of the most surprising things to me was that it was actually coming out ahead of the Razer 4K performance in terms of click latency. I honestly really like this shape a lot, even though this mouse is absolutely on the smaller side. And again, it is a very flat profile mouse. And as I had already mentioned, with my grip style, it feels really good in the hands. I really feel like this is a great option for fingertip grip. This probably is really small for most people for a type of a relaxed claw or something like that. But the way that I was gripping it myself, I do like to grip kind of more up in the front, something kind of mostly like this. All right, so starting out, let's throw it up against the most obvious comparison, which is going to be the Finalmouse Starlight-12 Small. The overall scale of these are actually incredibly similar to one another. Coming over here, as you can see, the side curve profile looks nearly identical. When you place these together, even though I do have the grips on it, same thing as before when I compared the Wlmouse Beast X to the Starlight-12 Medium. A lot of people say that the Wlmouse Beast X Mini is a smaller version, but actually it is just more of a flatter version. The sides of the Beast X Mini, they do feel just slightly a little bit more wide than the Starlight-12 Small. And if I were to place these on the side like this, is where you can see the Starlight-12. It is raised up and is a little bit higher, taller up here in the front of the mouse, to where it's lower on the Beast X Mini. Coming over here to the rear, the curve profile on these are pretty similar to one another, but on the side profiles where you can see you do feel more height over here on the Starlight-12 Medium and a little bit more of that mid hump there. And next up, when comparing it to the Razer Viper Mini Signature Edition. Starting out over here on the bottom, the Wlmouse Beast X Mini feels more flat on the sides, to where you do have these more aggressive curves here on the Razer Viper Mini Signature Edition. Putting these together at the very most center point, it does feel a little bit more wide on the Beast X Mini, but the Razer Viper Mini does flare out more aggressively to the front and to the rear. So in the front and the rear, it does feel wider. As you can see here, it does have more height up here in the front as well. And then the curve profile over here on the back, as you can see, the Razer Viper Mini Signature Edition kind of falls off a little bit more aggressively to the sides. But the one difference about these that is absolutely obvious to me, besides the more aggressive curved sides, is you do have more of an aggressive mid hump over here on the Razer Viper Mini Signature Edition. All right, and then finally, we'll go ahead and throw it up against my current main, the Lamzu Maya. When it comes to the comparison of both of these mice for me, they really do feel great. They both have flatter sides, but all around the Maya does feel like it's just slightly a bit larger version of the Beast X Mini. The Maya is a bit wider than the Beast X Mini. It does have more height up here in the front, standing taller. And then coming over here to the rear profile, one of the big differences about the Maya, as you can see, it does feel a lot wider at the top of the mouse, since it does kind of have more of these aggressive curves going from the bottom up to the top of the mouse, whereas on the Wlmouse Beast X, it does feel a bit more flat on that curve profile. And as much as I am just absolutely in love with this Beast X Mini, I do prefer the shape of the Maya a bit more. As you can see there, it does give you more support with the mid hump. So going back and forth between these two, the one major obvious difference is that the Wlmouse Beast X Mini feels way more flat. Alright guys, so that about wraps things up on the Wlmouse Beast X Mini, and I gotta say that I just absolutely been loving this thing. It's been incredible. The performance of it is really next level. I would say that for the time being, I still do myself personally slightly prefer the Maya, just because the fact that the Maya doesn't have any holes on it, has a bit more of a grippier coating, and the Maya just fits my hand perfectly with the shape and size with my grip style. But I would say that this Wlmouse Beast X Mini is going to be a very close second for me, even knocking the Sora 4K out of the spot, even though we do have that Sora V2 coming very soon, and I will be dropping that review shortly. But I used to main the Finalmouse Starlight-12 small for about a year, so this felt really good. Again, the flatness is something that I had to get used to, but I was actually able to adapt to it, and with the weight of this thing, the performance of it feeling as solid as it is, I would absolutely say without question this is one of my favorite gaming mice on the market. Alright guys, so if you have any questions or feel like I left anything out, please let me know in the comments down below. If you've enjoyed watching this video and are interested in seeing more videos like this in the future, please drop this video a like and subscribe to my channel. And thank you guys so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.